Hi, I'm James Lamont, fellow at the Vidine Center for Rural Economic Development at the University of Minnesota Crookston. Last week, Senator Robert Menendez of New Jersey was indicted on corruption charges. These charges pertain to a halal meat operation where meat emanating from Egypt would be transported to the United States, and there were certain regulatory and political favors that were requested of the senator according to the indictment. So I thought it'd be a good time to talk about corruption and its impact on agriculture. As you can imagine, there are many issues associated with corruption. First and foremost, the misallocation of resources divert funds from good agricultural practices, leading to inadequate investments in infrastructure, research, technology, and other innovation. It also reduces productivity because bribing and embezzlement hinder agricultural innovation, resulting in lower crop yields, poor livestock management, and overall decreased productivity. Market distortion, especially in places where people's margins are super thin as it is and they can't afford to eat 3 square meals a day. This is a major issue because it causes price fixing. And then some of these schemes in distorted markets cause price fluctuations that really hurt poor people. Good example would be awarding inflated contracts to companies that are either politically or economically aligned with a certain group, thereby increasing the total cost for a crop. Same thing with an environmental degradation. Sometimes governments are paid to look the other way, and that's a problem for the environment. It contributes to massive deforestation, illegal logging, and other issues. Then food insecurity, as I mentioned earlier, the economics of corruption are horrible on poor populations. So this could lead to food scarcity, as well as other challenges for vulnerable populations. So what are the consequences associated with corruption and its far-reaching issues? First of all, loss of investor confidence. Corruption scandals deter foreign investment, and in many parts of the world, this is still a high requirement for not only production agriculture, but for value added. Without that, you don't have economic development and people are mired in poverty. It also creates health risks based on the environmental issues that I mentioned, or if they're substandard agricultural products, or if there are products that are fake, or whatever the case is, that could result in mass sickness and illness. Reduced innovation. Corruption discourages innovation, right? Because it limits the adoption of modern practices, and then that naturally impacts subsequently down the line food production and then price. Then impacts on global trade. Corruption-related trade barriers and tariff manipulation disrupt international agriculture trade, affecting food security. This is kind of what we're seeing in Ukraine right now, as 5 countries in the European Union are continuously blocking Ukrainian food imports. And then social inequality, because corruption perpetuates inequality in the agricultural sector, and it leaves smallholder people or farmers holding the bag, and then marginalized communities at a disadvantage. So it's really difficult, but it's a very prevalent issue, especially in the developing world. And I felt like it was a good time to talk about it because it's kind of hit home here in the United States. Thank you for joining me, and see you next time.